happening, guys? Chris VA Travels. I'm at Edinburgh Castle, most iconic castle in Scotland. And yeah, I'm actually just finishing up. I realized I forgot to give my introduction. Yeah, so I'll show you the tour. This place is incredible. Like I say, I've spent the entire day here. But before I get going, I want to give a shout out to P&P Baker, new Patreon subscribers. I appreciate your support. All right, check this place out. Castle Rock right there with the Scottish flag flying. I think this is where I get my ticket, so let me put the camera down. Maybe first, let me look at this statue over here that's overlooking the city. Oh, there's a good shot of it. Wow. Again, up here on this Castle Rock. Some Roman numerals there. It says, oh, it's the India Cross. Pause and read. 58th Highland Regiment of Foot, the Rossshire Buffs. All right, let me go get my ticket. That's where you pick up your ticket. You have to order online. They send you an email with the QR code, and you go up there, scan it to get the actual ticket. And it's £21.50. And yeah, so I go up there, scan this ticket, and I can go in. You have to schedule a time. I'm scheduled for 12:30. They said I can go in about 12:15, and it's 11:45 right now, so I've got a half an hour to kill. I should tell you, this area is called the Escalade, or the parade ground. It was created in 1753, and they would do executions here back in the day. Yeah, it's gonna be a little hectic filming. Obviously, there are a million people here. But while I wait, let me check out some more of these statues. See who this guy is. Field Marshal, His Royal Highness Fred Eric, Duke of York. And he's got some sort of scroll in his hand. But that's a pretty nice statue. Let me get a closer look at this crest on the side. Pretty cool. About to go inside, and we've got this William Wallace statue that was added in 1929. Scottish crest and Robert the Bruce. Pretty cool. All right, here we go. What does this say? Oh yeah, Memorial to Wallace, like I say. All right, so May 28th. And on the other side, the same thing for Robert the Bruce. Check out these doors. Oh, all right. Cannons up, wow, yeah. Up here, like I say, on Castle Rock, and this is a volcanic rock that we're on top of. Artifacts have been found here going back to 900 BC. Pretty insane. There was a structure here that was used by Scottish royalty going back to 1093. It was called the Castle of Maidens. That's almost 1,000 years ago. All right, so first we've got the guardhouse, 1853. All right, I grabbed a map, and 1 o'clock there's a firing of the gun. So that's in about half an hour. Make sure I catch that. Parapet over here. Okay, so it looks like there's a battery up there. I'll eventually make my way up on top there to look at those. All right, I think that cannon is decorative. We're on the side of the gift shop. And the Firth of Forth is over here, and it flows into the North Sea to the right. Couple cargo ships out there. Like I say, very crowded. And you'll see the rock turns into the wall. Shop over here. What does that say? Oh, in memory of. When you stand off to the side. In memory of Sir William Wallace. The Portcullis Gate. Wow, going back to 1574. Check out these doors with the spikes on top. Yeah, the castle gates. Audio guide, huh?
I was like, do it for 5 seconds. I was like, I feel
For a period of at least 2,000 years, this fortress was defended by an outer gate. Wow. Don't climb on the parapets. And you'll see the old school arrow, the archery. They would shoot arrows through those little slits.
How long ago was that we've been here after?
All right, you can go up there, it looks like.
Wait!
And over here is the Argyle Battery, going back to 1730. Again, the Firth of Forth. Parapet over there. Oh, I can see my hotel. My hotel is right there on the other side of the Scott Monument. There's an island out there. Oh, the Calton Hill. I'm going to be visiting that as well. Pretty cool. All right. We keep moving on. And they're going to have the firing of the gun just on the other side of those buildings. The map says. Oh, looks like the gun they're going to fire is back there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I had stood in the same spot for 25 minutes to get that video. Anyway, let me keep wrapping around. And the Mason's Yard is down here. Back there you've got the Red Coat Cafe. And oh, that's the Jacobite Room. And the National War Museum of Scotland is back here. So I'll have to stop in there. All right, so let's see what this Mason's Yard is all about. So it looks like we've got a little guardhouse right here. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a good picture op. And this was the Ordnance Storehouse, 1753. Yeah, so the National War Museum of Scotland. Who's this guy? I'm guessing World War I. And this is Earl Haig, senior officer during World War I. Yeah, and he commanded the British Expeditionary Force on the Western Front from 1915 until the end of the war. A hospital over here, 1897. Some pretty cool water drains right there. Some cool crest up on those dormers. Originally built 1753. It was an ordnance storehouse. Yeah, it became a hospital 1897, it looks like. All right. Dedicated to some World War I soldiers. All right, let me check out the view from up there. West Panorama. Check it out. Maybe we'll see America. Just kidding. Check these guys out over here. Britain's been involved in so many wars I can't keep track of which is which. Alright, so that's it for Hospital Square in the Mason's Yard. And yeah, I'll put up a separate video, like I say, for this Scottish War Museum. And it's great. And you could spend half the day in there. There's a lot to see. But okay, onward. Next stop will be the governor's house. More of those old school arrow slits right there for the archers. Alright, so yeah, next stop is the governor's house right here. And I see a date right there. I believe that says 1742. Obvious stone building. And this is Officer's Mess right there. And let's see if this gives a little bit more information. Built as the official residence of the castle governor, with houses in the wings for the master gunner and the storekeeper. A wing off to the side, some dormers going across the top. Couple stone chimneys. Cool. Well, that was the governor's house. I think I'm going to stop and take a picture of this. It's pretty cool. Is that the keep right there? I don't know. I bet this maybe is the original part of the castle. Stop number 7 are going to be the barracks. And it looks like it's all this right here. So I'm looking for a plaque with more information. Maybe behind this lady, I think. On the wall, maybe. Headquarters, Edinburgh Garrison, Royal Scots Dragoon Guards. 52nd Infantry Brigade, Ope Herrick, 7th October 2007 to April 2008. Number 8 over here, the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards Museum. Boy, there's a lot to see here. Alright, you know I've got to slip in here. Check this place out. Huh. Cool. Oh, wow. All right, here we go. Wow, nice cavalry charge right there. Follow the arrows. A lot of plaques. Thomas Windsor right there, Earl of Plymouth, Appointed 1685. And this is a representation of a late 17th century Scottish dragoon. He's got his gloves on. I did a quick walkthrough. I had spent an hour in the Scottish War Museum, so kind of burned out. But yeah, a lot of cool. It was ultra crowded in there. So right across the way, then you have the Museum of the Royal Scots and Royal Regiment of Scotland. All right, so I'm going to skip out on that. Like I say, I've kind of museumed out. But back here, the prisons. Yeah, so it says back here the prisons, also the prisons of war, as you see, and Dury's Battery. And I think this was the battery. There are no cannons left, but this is where it's at. Prisoners' latrines. I guess you can walk in here. Wow, talk about narrow. Okay, well, there were latrines in here at one time. And I don't know if these were more of these arrow slits or just for ventilation. I don't see why. Usually there'd be a pit, right? But BT, BI? Okay. Yeah. Dury's Battery, 1710. Built after the 1708 Jacobite Rising by Captain Theodore Dury, military engineer for Scotland. In 1757, the guns were removed and the battery converted into an exercise yard, okay, for prisoners of war. Okay. There might be some interesting things in this prisons of war. I'll drop in there. I'll go in this way first. Oh wow, cell right here. Oh, stairs going downstairs.
Het is nu nog slechts een kwestie van tijd. Nou, vooruit. Een spelletje kaart, terwijl we daarop wachten.
And it's also very chilly in here. Oh, so this is where they slept.
Écrire à l'agent pour dresser un contrat et insiste pour l'avoir entre ses mains avant de l'entreprendre quoi que ce soit. Rien à gagner. Ils savent s'y prendre pourtant pour tirer profit.
Wow, they really crammed them in here. Hammocks on top of the beds. And they must have been shoved in here like sardines. More of the same over here. Drying some clothes up there.
En toute honnêteté, Jim, au moins, nous n'avons pas retenu 14 semaines en mer dans les sous de la flotte jamaïcaine. Nous sommes au moins nourris.
That looks real appetizing.
Non, c'est le scorbut. Le chirurgien est là. Il ne risquerait pas ça du roman.
Mais être retenu ici dans ces conditions ne nous aide guère. Nous devons tout faire pour quitter ce lieu. Nous avons tous signé la lettre.
I'll take us around the long way.
Here's some cold waters. What did he say? Jones said, no, sir.
Something to keep the prisoners busy.
But I'm determined to make you strike.
And it said in the military museum that the French prisoners used to make ships made of bone.
His ship was all but underwater. It had been shot away under him. But he stood there in full view of Pearson and said that.
Is there any guns?
So just a quick stop off.
En dan weer dapper terug in de boeien. Overrompeld voor 5 pond. Ze verspillen hun tijd.
Okay, let's see what's next. Military prison over here, 1842, and this looks like it's going to be a little bit more modern. Let's see what's down here. Small Victorian prison. Built to house offending soldiers from the castle garrison and those of visiting regiments. Closed in 1923. Wow, again, low door. Yeah, this is a little bit more modern. Wow. Wooden bed. Check out this little sink. And oh, that's the commode, I guess. Prisoner doing a short drill. A shot drill. Alright, so a garrison cell. Wooden board bed. That looks real comfortable. And there's your lighting right there. A lot of these rooms are similar. Ugh. He doesn't look like he's doing good. He's got some keys. Again, the commode back there. Alright. Private John Tool. 79th Queen's Own Cameron Highlanders. 1891. Private Robert Ewing. 26th Cameronian Regiment. Military prison built 1842, extended in the 1880s, last used in 1923. All right, let me get out of here. People are just filing in. Okay, made my escape. Onward. All right, so done with the prisons. Next stop 14 and 15, would be St. Margaret's Chapel in Mons, Meg. That giant cannon. I want to check that out. And we're about to go through Foogs Gate, F-O-O-G-S. The main entrance to the citadel by the 17th century. The premier wall, looped for both cannon and musketry. It was built in King Charles II's reign, 1660 to 1685. There's the...
No, it's so sedentary.
So David's Tower to the right. Okay, I think you can maybe go in down there. Another battery over here, and this is the 4-wall battery. And it says 1544. Wow. Let me go check these guns out. All right, 4-wall battery, 1544, rebuilt by King James V. That would be the father of Mary Queen of Scots. On the line of the medieval defenses, the guns were made about 1810. Another statue over there. 1615 it says. I'm gonna check this guy out. Kind of creepy with all these crows around. Oh, and the Half Moon battery is over here. 1573. Wow. Same type of guns. And yeah, they've got this area closed off. So King David II, that would be the son of Robert the Bruce. He lies buried beneath this platform. Oh, then over here we've got the four-well. For 500 years up to the 19th century, this was the castle's main water supply. 34 meters deep, and it never met the demand for water, it says. I read online this thing goes back 700 years. It was first mentioned in 1314, and when Robert the Bruce was retaking the castle, he had it sealed. And then it was cleaned up and reinstated in 1381. Started providing water again. Pretty neat. All right, let's go on in. Cool stained glass window right there. So this is David's Tower down here. I'll knock out David's Tower on the way back. Let me, oh, wow. So this has got to be it. Looks like there's a line to get in there. Holy cow. I can't say it enough. This place is huge. This whole castle complex. To the glory of God and in memory of Scots who fell during World War I. Wow. All right, let me go in. Lest we forget. Pretty cool. Let me take a look at these stained glass windows. Pretty nice vestibule right here. Wow, a huge hall in here. Oh, wow. Great memorial. No filming or photography inside, but yeah, great memorial for World War I. It just went through all the different regiments and whatnot. Over here, this is the Queen Anne building going back to 1710. Let me just go over and see what this says. And this was built after the 1708 Jacobite Rising as barracks of officers and the castle gunners. So the Queen Anne building is currently the tea room. And yeah, I'd rather have some coffee. Oh, the Great Hall over here, 1503 to 1513. Let me read what this says. Built for King James IV. And he may have been the best king. 1650, converted to soldiers' barracks by Oliver Cromwell. Restored 1887 and used today for royal fortifications. Pretty cool little lantern right there. Nice door. I was going to say strong wood smell, but you see all this wood paneling. Oh. Oh, wow. Very cool chandeliers. Huge vaulted ceiling. Some mortars down here. The hall was used as a place for high politics, and international diplomacy, and feasting. It shows the king as a man of power and good taste. Got stuffed animals inside the mortars. Cutlasses, pikes, cool spires. Oh, all right. That's cool. They've got the armor in here. Oh, above are 500-year-old timbers. And all of these stones have displays. This painting's from the Battle of Waterloo, and it shows Charles Ewart capturing a French regimental eagle. Okay, well, that was cool. All right, so this area is kind of a hot spot because that hall was pretty impressive, and that war memorial was very impressive. So let me go take a look at the royal jewels. All right, so that says 1566, and I'm willing to bet there's going to be no filming in there. I'll pull out my GoPro if it looks like I can film. All right, guys, this is the birthplace of King James I, or King James VI of Scotland. Charles II right here. Playboy. Oh yeah, he only lasted 3 years. Nice wig. There's Mary Queen of Scots. Here he is, Bonnie Prince Charlie, leader of the Jacobite Rebellion, 1745, and his father, Queen Anne of Denmark. Birthplace of King James VI, or King James the First. Oh, you can't go in. I guess we get some reflections on the mirrors, but yeah, this is where King James was born. Namesake of the James River in Jamestown of the American colonies. All right, guys, let's keep on going. First off, check out this coffered ceiling. This room's called the antechamber, and this fireplace dates back to the late 1400s. Mary Queen of Scots pretty much made tapestries while she was in prison there in London. Cool. All right. Wow. Oh yeah, British crest right here. Scotland is the unicorn. England is the lion. And Jacob is Latin for James. There was no filming inside, no filming of the crown jewels, but of course they were very impressive. But I did get to film a little bit of King James' birthplace in a room called the antechamber. So on to St. Margaret's Chapel, and it's actually getting late. Yeah, actually, I haven't been in David's Tower. Let me dip down in here.
Okay, which one?
Just to the left.
The left?
Yeah.
The other one is cool too.
Oh, there's another
And
one.
it's 4:30, so here we are at David's Tower. Stairs to the Lord's Hall. I don't think we're allowed to go down there. North wall of David's Tower. Looks like you get a little bit of daylight. Death in the cellars. It says over 100 soldiers once slept in these dank cellars. Oh, skeleton of a soldier One of 15 found recently. Yowzer. Okay. Like I say, I'm on a little bit of a time crunch. I don't want to miss. All right, so this is a gun loop and casemate 1546. Glad I put my coat on. It's very chilly up here. Oh. Looks like he's got a crossbow right there. Narrow arch door. Okay, that's closed, I guess. Head on back out of here. All right, I need to find Mons Meg. Oh, Mons Meg is right here. Cool. All right. I think these are the two last big ones. So the 4-wall battery again. Yeah, I'll definitely be ready to sit down for a big dinner. All I've eaten today is a muffin, and it is now almost 5 p.m. Great view right here. All right, so it looks like this is the Argyle Tower right here. Cool little hatched kind of door, I guess. Right there is a cemetery for soldiers' dogs. Ugh. Small garden below has been used since Queen Victoria's reign, 1837 to 1901, as a burial place for regimental mascots and officers' dogs. Here's Mons Meg. Oh yeah, so now we're up. Once again, dog cemetery. Wow, look at this view. Looks like this is Newtown. This was a wedding gift in 1457 to King James II, and it was cutting-edge technology at the time. Forged in 1449 at the mines in Flanders, which now, of course, is Belgium. And it was fired at Mary Queen of Scots' wedding. Also fired in 1681 for the birthday of King James VI. It was moved to the Tower of London 1754 after a Jacobite rising. And it looks like it was pretty much stolen, I guess, by the English or the British government, I guess. And it was returned in 1829. Oh, all right, there we go. That is a serious barrel. This thing is 500 years old. The world's most famous medieval gun. Weighed 6 tons and could fire a 330-pound stone ball. Wow. This thing could fire a stone ball up to 2 miles, the guy just said. Wow. Here we go, guys. St. Margaret's Chapel. Nice stained glass window right here. And yeah, apparently, oh, this is tiny. Okay. $1993. Yeah. $13.69. Gospel book right here. Oh, well that was quick. Didn't realize it was so small. Let me try to get a picture of the front. Oh, Argentina in the house. Sweet. All right. Cool. All right, and this is the only part of the castle that was spared by Robert the Bruce when he retook it in 1314. Pretty neat. And wow. Again, going back to 1130. How insane is that? 900 years. Boy, in America, if you go back more than 200 years, that's a big deal. Okay, I think I've seen enough. Backside of St. Margaret's Chapel, and I think I was wrong earlier. I thought this was St. Margaret's Chapel, but this is part of the Scottish National War Memorial. Wanted to get out of the path of the sun. Good shot of it right there. And you'll see, it looks like a different type of stone was used right there. But yeah, built at 1130, if I haven't said it enough times, built by King David I. It was to honor his mother, Queen Margaret. And they think this is part of the first royal lodgings that were built up on this stone, up on this castle rock. Wow. All right, we keep on moving on. Looks like this is the exit, and you see there used to be a door right here. Again, Argyle's Tower. Oh, it looks like you can walk in there. Let me go ahead and do that. Fight for the castle. This thing. A trebuchet, the most powerful weapon before the age of gunpowder. Let me stand back. Big old trebuchet right here. Oh yeah. Sling that cannonball. Oh, pretty cool. Yeah, telling the entire history. Well, that was pretty neat. It kind of been cool if that was kind of at the beginning. Yeah, it just talks about the beginning of the Scottish, the War of Scottish Independence, when the Queen Margaret of Norway died, and there was a succession crisis. And they called in King Edward to arbitrate, and he pretty much used it as a way to take over. We just went down the Lang Stairs, the main access to the summit of the Castle Rock in the Middle Ages. Pretty cool. Alright guys, yeah, it looks like they're kind of closing up. It's emptying out, so I'm gonna get out of here. That's it for Edinburgh Castle. Obviously a must-see if you're ever visiting Edinburgh. Plan for an entire day, and remember to buy your tickets online beforehand. I bought mine today. I had to wait about an hour, so anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. As always, guys, like and subscribe. See you on the next one.